When the man
comes around.
All right, folks. That's enough of the immortal Johnny Cash. All right, I'm going to get into news, then your calls. For folks that are holding patiently. Finishing up with the pimp game. It's not just men pimping women or government pimping society. Women run the pimp game. You know, you see these husbands, broke back, woman's dominating them, but the man's unhappy and so's the woman because women are not happy in that position. And so this whole pimp society, this whole Stockholm Syndrome society only works in a slave broke back system, not in an upright, strong society. And only in decadent, degenerate societies does this operate. And the pimp game works with valley girls and people's good little girls that run off to college and become slaves because mommy and daddy were so nice or things were so cushioned and they just didn't know how to stand up to something like that. Or they came from such poor families, it's the same. And the adults give their children to CPS workers who are known pedophiles and criminals in many cases and let them, in many cases, drug them out, rape them, kill them. And then the government says, that's how it is, you're going to take it. We have to get angry with righteous indignation. We have to take action against these people. Because I don't want my children being slaves to the government. I don't want to be under bondage, folks. It's a spirit. It's an idea. It's a system. It's an attitude. And I'm saying, no, I am not your slave. So it's that simple. And we have to get aggressive. We have to get strong. We have to get focused. And we have to say no. Because they train us how to push us around. And then now they're going, yeah, we're going to set up Army checkpoints. And if you run the checkpoint, we're going to kill you. Yeah, you know, L.A. and Chicago and Dallas police are going to shoot any fleeing car. That's so criminal. That's such tyranny. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Now, I want to break down all these surrogate, White House-driven, George Soros openly owned and paid for operations. This story is up on prisonplanet.com. It's important this get out. Left-wing website with direct ties to White House smears Alex Jones as the establishment intensifies its efforts to demonize his political adversaries as extremists and terrorists. A George Soros-funded left-wing website with direct ties to the Obama White House has parroted the months-old debunked smear that Pittsburgh cop killer Richard Poplawski was an Alex Jones fan. And see, they've now passed their hate bill, and the House and Senate now goes to conference to fully ban free speech in America. It just says, if we don't like what you say, we arrest you. And this guy, I guess, wants me arrested. I mean, that is the equivalent of a commissar right there. Think Progress claims that it is a nonpartisan organization, yet is bankrolled by the Center for American Progress Action Fund, a think tank headed by Bill Clinton's former chief of staff, John D. Podesta, pictured top. It was also head of the Barack Obama presidential transition team after 2008 election. According to SourceWatch, CAP's Progressive Media Project emerged as a major communications war room on behalf of Obama's domestic and foreign policy agenda. CAP became a strong advocate for the escalation in Afghanistan. Progressive Media is run through the Center for American Project Action Fund, the more political 501c4 arm of CAP. You can also go look at their federal filings, Rockefeller Foundation, Carnegie, Ford. I mean, and there's 5 or 6 big sites attacking me weekly. I mean, I am numero uno target now. It coordinates closely with Common Purpose Project, an effort to create message discipline among the pro-Obama organizations. So that means a master repeater. They put out up here at the top of the pyramid the orders, the nomenclature, you know, that war is loving and liberal, and hiring nothing but lobbyists is not hiring lobbyists, and letting the banks have $23.7 trillion is good, and Obama writing loopholes for all of them is stopping loopholes. And they throttle and attack any little left-wing site that doesn't stay in line. This is a master pimp. This guy is keeping a massive string of left-wing political prostitutes paid meager amounts from the White House fund to attack anybody that isn't for the world government takeover. I mean, look at him. He's a pimp game. That's all this is. So he's a master commissar. And I take it as a great badge of courage and honor that weekly now I have national publications and the allied propaganda arms of the White House attacking me. That means I'm doing a good job. Thank you, God, for giving me the guidance and directing me to. I know I haven't lived up to the full potential, but thank you. And thank you. Please continue to lead me against the enemy and help me lead others against the enemy. And these people are the enemy. I mean, these are social engineers, official textbook with the head of the White House, science running it to sterilize, take all children, forcibly sterilize you. World government. Open, public, mainstream Associated Press. With mainstream news going, what's wrong with sterilizing everybody? You know. I mean, these people are hardcore savage off the hook. I mean, they are wild men. I mean, that is bold. You got to hand it to them. I mean, they're running the show and they're spiking your water and it's funny. So, direct ties to the White House. Think Progress was vehemently anti-war during the Bush administration, but since Obama took power, bombing brown people in broken back third world countries has apparently become a progressive and liberal virtue. And if you're against it, you're a racist. Oh, you don't want to take black foster kids and test pesticide on them until they die? You know, I've been attacked for talking. Jones crazily says there's eugenics and a plan to. Hell, I'm sourcing New York Daily News with them killing the black kids. What? I don't want to kill black babies, so I'm a racist. I mean, you people make me sick. I don't have a Margaret Sanger statue in my backyard like some of you guys do, who call black subhuman. You mean I'm a racist? So you got your little front man out there, and you got all these people, not just people that are being pimped by the system. You've got the house slaves, the people that think they're part of the system. And then you've got the general public that are out in the barn. And that's what this society's turned into. We're all slaves, and they want us fighting with each other. That's what they love saying. We need to have more of a debate about race, to always keep it in the front burner and fighting with each other instead of fighting with the bankers and their little pimps that carry out their operations. Think Progress was vehemently anti-war during the Bush administration, but since Obama took power, bombing brown people in broke back third world countries has apparently become a progressive and liberal virtue. According to the Center for American Progress Director Jennifer Palmieri, the organization is focused around driving the White House's message and agenda. And what is that every week? Front story, me. I'm evil. I'm bad. I'm a terrorist. How on earth can driving the White House's message and agenda be deemed nonpartisan? Think Progress is nothing more than an echo chamber for Obama administration propaganda. It's the free republic of the left wing. It's about as nonpartisan as the Communist Party propaganda organ Pravda was during the Cold War. Through the Center for American Progress is shy about revealing its funders. According to SourceWatch, no less than 58 foundations have donated $15 million since 2003, as well as corporations and elitist philanthropists such as George Soros, and I would add David Rockefeller, who donated $3 million for general support in 2006. In an article about Representative Louis Gohmere's appearance on the Alex Jones show last week, they warn about the health care bill. Think Progress attempts to discredit the subject of referring to the host Jones as radical conspiracy theorist because of his views on the Oklahoma City bombing and 9/11. The editors of Think Progress are apparently lagging far behind the understanding of public opinion, seemingly unaware of the fact that polls taken 3 years ago by New York Times show that an overwhelming majority, 84%, of Americans have doubts about the official 9/11 story. The article also calls Jones' claim that White House science czar John P. Holdren's advocated putting sterilants in the water supply a conspiracy theory, despite the fact that it's clearly documented in his own book, excerpts of which have been posted on the internet. However, Think Progress must egregious smear attempts in the last paragraph of the article. And it goes on from there to basically say I'm a cop killer. Now, that I'm leading cop killers. And that's because they want to sick the police on the public, and that's their hate crime. They can't win. They're losing. They can't intimidate any people as commissars. We're not the poor Russians with a history of being slaves to the czars. We're Americans. I'm not bashing the Russians. Just our history's different. You may have drugged us with food and entertainment and all the crap, but people are waking up. The giant's rubbing the sleep from his eyes and going, ooh. And the establishment's going, get those Patriots, Giant. They're the bad one. Get those. Let us have all the banker money. Here, drink some more fluoride, Giant. The Giant's going, you bad. You banker. Yeah. And, they don't like it, ladies and gentlemen. Despite his outlandish views, George Soros writes, David Rockefeller writes, that's who's writing this, his publication. Despite his outlandish views, Jones' influence cannot be underestimated. People are listening by the millions every week. Despite his outlandish views, Jones' influence cannot be underestimated. Richard Poplawski, the young man who gunned down 3 Pittsburgh police officers earlier this year after posting a fear that government would confiscate his guns, was a diehard Jones fan.